Bungie made me make this build. This is the Firebolt build. We've got Flare Up. Firebolt grenades apply more scorch stacks. Damage you can combat with a Firebolt grenade spawns a fire sprite near them. And we've got Rain of Firebolts, double Firebolts. Solar Surge with collecting a fire sprite gives you armor charge. I'll go through all of the mods that I'm using after I finish this little gameplay, running through the new Lost Sector. Be spamming Firebolts for days here. And we'll finish this one. Lose my baby hammer. Oh. Good. Lots of sunspots for that restoration. Oh, throw that. Wrong one. Open. Feels like pre-nerf Heart of Inmost Light. All these mods on. Where'd that baby hammer go? Baby hammer got stuck in the wall. Good. Please don't troll me with the despawning. It worked this time. I mean, this is totally the first take that I have of this video. 100%. Reload. I have to reload that. Good. There we go. Beautiful. Now let's go through everything. Subclass, we got Burning Maul, the half wall because it has a lower cooldown, catapult lift, throwing hammer because they're just really strong. You have infinite melees, which procs hard from the slide a little bit better. Firebolt grenade, obviously, that's the whole point of this entire build. We got roaring flames, and we'll be stacking those up as we go throughout the entire encounter and use this build. And we have Soul Invictus, so we can make tons of sunspots for restoration, which obviously when we're spamming abilities, this is really nice. Ember of Ashes, you apply more scorch stacks to targets from the Firebolt grenades, which feels really good. Then we have your class ability recharges faster when you scorch targets, so we get the wall back. This basically makes it feel like pre-nerf Heart of Inmost Light. And then we have your solar ignitions have increased area of effect. And so when you do eventually scorch the targets, they'll ignite and then will be a huge explosion. And your solar ignitions spread scorch to affected targets. So they'll ignite and then make other targets like that as well. Obviously you didn't get to see too much of that because the wasn't an extreme amount of add density necessarily. But overall, it was a pretty good little Firebolt build. Obviously it's just rocking 2 solar weapons, but you don't have to use that. As far as armor mods, we're rocking Font of Wisdom. We're using hands-on and Ashes stats. That's just so we can get the super back really fast. I was rocking really low intellect, so that way I can spec things out for other things. I had a little too much discipline, but that's just because my artifice armor rolled really high. And then we had impact induction, causing damage with your melee attack, reduce your grenade cooldown. It's a lot better to use this one than it is to use momentum transfer because you don't need your melee back because you have infinite melees with baby hammer. Then we have heavy-handed. Your powered melee final blows create orbs of power, which is really nice because you're going to want those orbs for a variety of different reasons. One of those being this right here, grenade kickstart. When your grenade energy is fully expended, you gain grenade energy, so it gives you about 20% back. Additionally, your armor charge is consumed. and you gain additional grenade energy for each stack. And so we'll be getting armor charge by using their melees, and we'll be using those orbs for other things down below. Emergency reinforcement: when your shields become broken, you gain temporary damage reduction, which is nice. And I use sniper and melee for just close and long range damage resistance. Back away from the support a little bit. Then on the boots, we have orbs of restoration. So you can pick up an orb and it'll give you some ability energy to the one that you need it in the most. And obviously you don't need melee energy, but it's nice for the class item. And then we have reduced grenade cooldown each time you pick up an orb of power, because we're trying to get as many nades back as possible. And then we have recuperation, which isn't entirely necessary because you're going to walk into the sunspot. And so if you touch the orb, it's not entirely necessary to get that health back, but it can be nice for just a little chunk of health. So you don't necessarily need that. You could just rock double innervation instead, or even just triple innervation. On the class item, we're going to use utility kickstart so we can get those walls back. So again, it'll make it feel like Heart of Immolite before the nerf. And then we've got reduced grenade cooldown when you use your class ability. So every time I put the wall down, you get the nade back. Same thing with Bomber, double that up. And overall, that's what we had: 100 resilience and a little bit too much discipline, but then we had 80 recovery and then 2 intellect. Don't need any melee energy, don't need any mobility. A pretty strong build. The link will be down below. Let me know your thoughts about the Firebolt Frenzy build. Make sure to subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Smash the like button. See you in the next one. Later.